Oh yeah, let me show you the easy and fast way to cut your very own half cut bustier. Okay, it's very straightforward. Now the bust point I worked with is 8 inches, my nipple point is 9.5 inches, my under bust point is 13.5 inches, and the half blouse is 16 inches. Because I'm marking directly on my fabric, I added half an inch to my nipple point and my under bust point, which is 10, which made it 10 and 14 inches. So my fabric is on a fold. I'm starting on the front part. The first thing I went ahead to do was to mark my bust point, my nipple point, and my under bust point. The hem of this fabric is my half cut. Okay, so I marked my bust point at 8 inches, my nipple point at 10 inches, and my under bust point at 14 inches. I explained that I added half an inch to my measurement because I'm marking directly on the fabric. Now from the middle, I went ahead to mark my nipple point at 4.5 inches. Okay, and at the top I marked 5 inches. Okay, so after doing this, the next thing I went ahead to do was at my waist point, I marked 1 inch on both sides. At my under bust point, I marked 1 inch on both sides. I connected everything together. Then I connected my under bust point to my nipple point. After doing this, at the top, I took half an inch on both sides and I connected everything together. After doing this, the next thing I went ahead to do was to mark out my bust measurement, my under bust measurement, and my waist measurement. Now, after marking out this measurement, you see this part we're going to cut out. I added it back to the fabric, I added it back to what I was marking so that everything will be accurate before I bite my tongue. So after marking out all my measurements, the next thing I went ahead to do was at the side, I came down by 1 inch. This is to shape my armhole where the bustier is going to go round, my armhole. I came down by one inch. You can do 1.5. Then I went ahead to add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Okay, so after doing this, I connected everything together. I was verifying my measurements one more time. So after doing this, the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut. Now my nipple to nipple measurement is 4 inches, but I marked 4.5 because the half inch is for joining. We are marking directly on the fabric. Okay, so after cutting the front part, this is what we have here for the bustier. It's not looking pretty. Now it's time for the back part. So for the back part, I've gone ahead to mark out my zip allowance. Then the next thing I went ahead to do was from the middle, I marked 4.5 inches. That's for my dart line. Then at the bottom there, at the hem, I marked half an inch on both sides. And at the top, I marked half a cm on both sides. Okay, so after doing this, I connected my markings together. After connecting my markings together, at the top, I marked my bust measurement divided by 4. I also marked my under bust measurement and I marked my waist measurement. Okay, so after doing this, that part we're going to cut out. I took the distance between those two parts, I added it back to the fabric so that everything will be accurate. Then I went ahead to add 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Okay, I added 1.5 inch sewing allowance and I connected everything together. And you guys, this is what the back part looks like. So after marking out all my measurements, I went ahead to cut. This is me cutting and I'm almost out of air. Okay, I went ahead to cut and this is what we have here for the back part. Very simple, very straightforward. Thanks for watching.